Well, the summer weather pattern is getting really strong across the country, and you can see all of the moisture that we're dealing with over the next several days. The timestamp is above my head. You can track it out. A lot of moisture around, especially here in the south, as we've got this Bermuda high here off the coast. That continues to bring in just so much moisture here. Humid, it's hazy, it's hot, and it's going to also lead to, this weather pattern is going to lead to several afternoon showers and storms over the coming days. Now, as we move through Tuesday and Wednesday, we are going to be dealing with, I think, more of a severe threat a little bit further to the east as we're watching a frontal system drop off to the south and east. With that, we could see some damaging winds, some hail, and we're still several days out from this, but the idea that something is showing up, and it may be a little bit further east than what we've seen lately. That's something worth keeping an eye on. And then all of this pushes to the east, toward the Great Lakes now as we move toward Thursday and Friday, also into the northeast with some rain showers here. Across the west, it just stays hot back here with a large ridge of high pressure in the upper levels. Not a lot of changes. And in Florida, we continue to see that deep moisture around, and that continues all along the Gulf Coast states and into the southeast. A little bit of cool weather, though, possible as we head into next weekend. Something to keep an eye on for the northern Rockies. That could bring some snow here for the first few days of summer. Here's a look at that upper level weather pattern on Sunday. Huge ridge across the desert southwest. I mean, that happens when you get that rising motion. The atmosphere literally continues to expand underneath this heat dome, if you will. On the east side of that, a bit of a disturbance dropping through parts of the Central Plains. This is an interesting feature to watch, I think. Could bring some severe weather, some thunderstorms, and then we're watching this cold pool of air. A front's going to drop to the south out ahead of this severe weather for Tuesday and into Wednesday. Let's look at what the Storm Prediction Center is putting out. They've got a slight risk here today from parts of Montana down into Nebraska, even parts of northeast Colorado, South Dakota, Wyoming, damaging winds. Hail possible here too, could be large at times. And there could also be a few strong storms into parts of the mid-Atlantic, parts of Virginia, Maryland, the Delmarva region. As we head into this afternoon, as storms move out of the Appalachians and move east toward the Piedmont, the coastal plain of Virginia, and into parts of D.C., north up towards Baltimore. All right, tornado risk, it's not off the charts, but it's not zero for places like southern Kansas, northern parts of Oklahoma, and then back up into Montana, Wyoming. Here's a look at your Sunday outlook, pretty much the same areas, but we do start to change things up as we now head towards Monday. As our front starts to drop to the east, not just Monday, but also into Tuesday, we're looking at the Plain States, and look how far east this moves as we head into Wednesday, moving closer to the Great Lakes. So Michigan, Wisconsin, Chicago, Indianapolis, back through central Illinois, back into Missouri. The severe weather looks like it is returning here. Let's start off really far to the west. We've got these storms going up into Montana today. Those continue to drive off to the east as we head into tonight. I think you really got to watch the storms that will be firing up further to the south and east too. These could get strong heading into the afternoon and evening hours across parts of northeast Colorado, parts of Nebraska, and then heavy rain. Check this out. The 3K NAM is insisting that we're going to see some type of thunderstorm complex develop over Kansas tonight. Look how this is going to be dropping off to the south and east, maybe even to the southwest as it sort of creates its own cold pool of air pushing out from this thunderstorm complex late tonight into early Sunday morning. That could bring some damaging winds, some hail. You know, tornadoes not completely out of the question, but it's not really that type of setup. Some big storms going, and those could last through the early morning hours. Things starting to weaken as they drop towards the Red River, and then as we head into Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, this swirl in the atmosphere, this vorticity, this area of low pressure. On the front side of this, there could be some storms into Arkansas, into parts of Texas, and then all of this pushes off into the east. Storms also possible into Tennessee as we head into Monday and then into Tuesday. Everything starts to pick up ahead of our next upper level cold pool that drops off to the south and east. And there's a look at your temperatures. It is hot across Texas, pushing triple digits here, close to 90 across western Kansas, even up into Nebraska. We're pushing 90 with cooler 70s to the north of that, even up towards the UP of Michigan. We're back into the 50s. Further to the east, again, you watch this cluster heading into the evening hours as it moves towards Richmond, Charlottesville, north up towards D.C., Baltimore. Storms possible here, some damaging winds, hail, and again, there could be a few strong storms. The tornado risk isn't off the charts, but some of these could contain some damaging winds and some hail as well. And then as we head into late tonight, we're watching another disturbance push out of the Tennessee Valley into the Cumberland Plateau region, into the central Appalachians. That's going to bring some more showers and storms here. Things do settle down some late tonight into early Sunday morning, but we're not getting rid of the showers in this region. In fact, we could see lingering showers into parts of New Jersey. Further to the north into Maine, a little bit drier, a little bit cooler here. We do see a punch of some dry air trying to push down from Canada into parts of Michigan as we head into Monday. And then here's your disturbed area, if you will, with that bear clinic zone set up here with your front. Showers, thunderstorms, they're going to stick around for the next several days. And here's a look at your high temperatures on Saturday. A lot of rain possible, too, across parts of southeast Virginia, especially under these thunderstorms, and quite a bit of rain. We're talking about 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, maybe, especially in some of the heavier thunderstorms. And then up into Iowa, too, we could see some heavy rain over the next several days. Southern parts of Minnesota, eastern parts of Nebraska, South Dakota, some rain possible here that could add up in the rain bucket. Across the southwest, dry. Okay, there could be a few storms heading into the afternoon and evening, maybe into parts of the Colorado Rockies, into parts of New Mexico. Otherwise, the heat dome is on, and we are just keeping things dry as we enter this hot summer-like weather pattern. More showers and storms possible, though, up towards Wyoming as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, and maybe into parts of Washington. Otherwise, I mean, look at this. All the way through Thursday and Friday, generally dry across the west, and this looks to be a bigger disturbance heading into the northwest by Friday and Saturday. That could bring some cooler weather, not just to the northwest, but I think this tries to push into the Rockies. Again, maybe some surprise summer snow into the mountains here next weekend. Welcome to summer in the northern Rockies. A cold start in some of these areas, especially into the Rockies this morning. It's a little bit cooler than what we've seen over the last several weeks, but it's baking in the deserts today. Triple-digit heat from Phoenix, Death Valley, absolutely living up to the name with triple-digit heat here. All right, see you next time.